in my veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no, I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capping space. I won't stop till I hear him say,
hey there, welcome back. Welcome back to Ready to Love, our panel recap, all A-Team for Season 6 in Miami, Episode 7, A Little Help from My Friends. How's everybody doing out there? You guys all right?
Alex, yeah, I'm doing great.
Yeah, we got a couple people. Oh, good. Great. We got a couple people that are on their way, I believe, still for our panel. So we're gonna go ahead and check in on the audience and do our little housekeeping, and then we'll get started, and they can catch up with us. Hey, Kirby, how's it going? Kirby, you all right? Good to see you.
Kirby, what's up, baby? What's good?
What's good? Yeah. Woo, it's been an interesting week. Well, last week anyway. So I'm just getting my legs up under me and trying to get back into the swing of things, guys. Anything interesting happened to you guys over the weekend?
Well, for me, I just continue to push my channel. I got some new videos that went up over the weekend, so looking forward to getting feedback and trying to get those numbers up for my channel, Magnetic Repellent. Been working on that.
Awesome. Magnetic Repellent. Yeah, that is a great channel. I saw. Yep, we got Ryan coming in. All right, Ryan, add it to the stream. Come on in, Ryan. Come on in. Hey, Roro, how you doing? And Ravine. Hey, A-Team members, Roro and Ravine S. Good to see you guys. Good to have you with us.
Well, now that Ron is here, I'm no longer the more handsome one on the screen now. So.
Well, you said it.
Well, here you go, Alex. I'm the more handsome one now. Don't worry about it.
Oh, yeah.
I know they be saying I got the masculine energy anyway.
I've never felt that from you. I've never felt masculine energy from you. So I don't know. I don't get that, but okay.
What's up, Ron?
Man, I'm having a bad weekend, man.
Hopefully we can cheer you up a little bit.
Yeah. What's going on?
I got catfish yesterday for the first time. I don't know how I feel about it.
Oh my god.
Catfish, like on the internet, like an internet catfish?
No, like on an actual date, or lunch date. It wasn't like anything romantic stuff. The person literally was not the person in the pic that they portrayed at.
It's so funny because my girlfriend was just talking about this guy was 15 years older than his pictures. How does that happen?
I'm walking in, and she's like, I'm by the window, and there's only one seat by the window, and I'm looking like, where's she? You know what I mean? I'm confused.
I told her I'm not doing online dating. Whatever happens in the future, I'm not doing any online dating because you guys are scaring the heck out of me.
Oh, it puts you in as a man, it puts you in a bad situation because you're like, like you're trying to be a gentleman, and there's a black woman, so you want to, you got to continue with the date, but you're like, you're looking at her like the audacity that I would come out here and you not even be the person in your pic. Like, you want to be rude, and you have every right to be rude and say, hey, look at this.
What was it specifically? Was it not the person who had sent the pictures, or was it pictures like 10 years ago, 20 years ago? What was going on exactly?
I don't know. It looked like a whole totally different person. I don't know how.
Oh, a totally different person. That's really
and then that person knew it. I could tell like that person had catfished people before. It seemed like it was just like, but she seemed like in a kind of like a mental state that wasn't, I don't know, as strong. So I didn't want to, you know what I mean? I was trying to act.
Yeah. You gotta be polite, be a gentleman.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's a $30 lunch. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna try to traumatize somebody even more over that, but then like it's very awkward because I'm trying to eat. I am hungry. And
right.
Meal and stuff like that. And she's asking me questions like how I look at this dress, and I'm like, don't ask.
What? First of all, I don't think it's necessary to fish for a compliment. If a woman looks good, typically a normal normal single man will compliment you and say, "Hey, you looking really good in that dress," or
No,
"You
I
look
mean,
really great." You know,
she was not looking good. I mean, it was. I mean,
that part.
and
Do-
yeah,
do-
I handled it with white gloves. But I think next time, because I was
Mhm.
talking to like one of my other friends, and she's done the online dating thing, but she doesn't date black men. She dates other different men, and she said those guys are very direct. If you a Middle Eastern guy, Mexican guy, stuff like that, it ain't
Yeah.
going right. They're gonna say, like she said, the dude went to the bathroom and just left. And the guy was like, "Oh my god!" He's like in the middle,
Oh, no.
the middle of the
There's
date.
a rough
She
audience
sit down.
out
He
there.
said, "I can't do this. You're messing with my mental health."
I'm surprised she.
Oh, wait a minute! I gotta write that one down. That's a good one right there. You are messing with my.
No, he said
mental
they're
health.
direct, and you know, like black men, we try to handle the situation. I feel sometimes with white gloves, and sometimes you just got to be true to yourself and just say, "Hey, this was not right by
Yeah.
her. I drove out here, and I'm paying for it."
Right, but wait a minute. On the screen, let me go back to that comment because I think that Ravine had a very good point. Read that comment, Ron, if you can.
Saturday they're around. I hate catfishes. You have FaceTime before you met. Nah, that did not.
That's a mistake.
Yeah,
That's a
what
mistake.
I was telling my girlfriend. I said, you know, it's nobody you should be meeting in 2022 with all this technology out here that you haven't done a Zoom, a Duo,
It
a
wasn't that
FaceTime.
serious. You know, to me, I was like, the person's
Yeah,
been hitting me
yeah.
up a lot. I said, I'm hungry.
So
We're trying to-
it wasn't like it was romantic. It was just literally just a lunch get together.
Yeah, like I said, it wasn't a situation where I felt that, you know,
So then
I just-
why does it matter what she looks like then? But the fact that
because
she
it wasn't about
she's
that
completely-
I'm missing. I feel like I'm missing out on that person. It's not the audacity that person puts you in that situation where now I have to literally
but she faked her profile. That's the point. Yeah, I think-
everything, and now I got to go through it with the date or be an asshole. You gave me only two choices to even go
No,
through there,
there's a
pay for
third
this
choice
lunch for
in
you
there.
who are not when you're not you, and try
Yeah.
to fake through this to the end awkwardly, enjoy my lunch awkwardly, waste my time, and then leave out here. Or just straight up in front of the waitress stuff, say, "Hey, this is not you. This is ridiculous," and leave you right there in front of her. You know what I mean? At an empty table. Which
Well,
is not,
Ron, I'm not.
personality. So,
Ron, I'm sure that's not the first woman you've been with that faked it. So
no,
Where's my lamb dragon? That was a good one, Alex. That was a good one, my brother. You haven't redeemed yourself yet on this Sunday. Oh,
and then
no.
my girl Ravine said, Ravine S says Ron is cool, but Alex is smooth AF. All right, Ravine, she knows what she's talking about.
Aw. Don't rub it in. Yeah, let me see. Where was that at? Yeah, let's see if she said that. Yes, she did say that.
Yeah, she said it. There it is.
That's only because she's more familiar with you. When she gets more, when Ryan comes over here as my co-host, she gonna forget all about you. She gonna forget you ever even existed. Okay.
Hey, I'm in Detroit Tuesday. I'm back in the city.
Oh,
There
my
you go.
goodness.
Oh wow, awesome. You be back over here in the D-town?
Yeah, Tuesday to Saturday.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Okay. That's a
Okay.
bet. That's a bet. Well,
All
guys, we're
right.
gonna go ahead. Alex has graciously because I got a couple things going on underneath all of this and in real life. So Alex has graciously decided to kind of play lead today. So he's gonna work with some of the little cue cards and go ahead and lead this conversation, this discussion. Let's get it started.
Yeah, I'm gonna feed off the cue cards and the delegates.
Yeah, add
and
your own little
everything.
touch and I'll jump in here and there.
Yeah, we start out this episode with, of course, they're gonna meet the best friends. We open in the ladies' lounges, and nephew Tommy tells the ladies that they're gonna meet their best friends, or their prospective beaux are gonna meet the best friends, and then they go out, help them decide. The best friends help decide who's suitable. So Jamala invites Randall over to see two of her friends. So, what did you guys think about that? What did you think about that, Jay? I can't hear you. We can't hear you, Jay.
Shoot, I forgot I was on mute.
Okay.
I like Randall and Jamala's connection that's going on so far. It feels genuine. It looks like more authentic now as it continues, especially the kiss didn't look so awkward as it did last week and whatnot. It's getting more comfortable, and it was a few kisses up in there. And then I like the stuff that he was saying about her. You know, she's his top, and it's not only that he has what is it, sexual interest in her, but he finds her as a best friend. And, you know, for me, that's something that I would look for as far as a long-term partner, is somebody that sees me as a friend first, because once the relationship part of it, we in the outs on the relationship part, we can always be like, you know what, we friends. Let's work this out. Let's figure this out as friends.
Right.
And then get back to the loving.
Yeah, the friendship to me, I always say this, Jay, that like to me is more important than love. Because when you genuinely like somebody, you don't want to see them hurt. You want to work with them. You want to be around them. So like is very powerful to me, more so than love. Because love can be so generic. We always say that, I love you. I love y'all. You know, but when you really like a person, different. What do you think, Ron, about Jamal and King Randall?
We got to be real with it. I mean, that's a young 6'5" guy in Miami, Florida, not in Iowa. That like stuff ain't gonna get it done long term. I like the attention. I know he likes the attention that she's giving him, and she's pretty good at it. And in this show, it goes a long way when the woman is giving you that attention, attentive to you, and things of that nature. Feels good, and like I said, it might be good enough to have a love connection to the end. But do I see this as a future long-term relationship? Not necessarily.
Yeah, and I kind of see her more into him than he is to her. It's just a feeling that I'm getting.
Yeah, this is it's pretty obvious.
Yeah, I'm kind of sensing that. So I think she's laying all her cards on the table. She had nobody else to meet her friends but Randall. So and
yeah,
but then
I thought
so he can get all the attention, but you know what I mean, and that feels good on a show like this. You want to know that you are in a safe spot with somebody and that they're, you know, your direct number one and things of that nature, but it's gonna take a lot more than that to get down that aisle.
Yet even in the background, she's still not delusional. She even said it at the end, you know, I still know he has other connections. So it's not like she's totally just putting her all into it. She's still being realistic to saying, hey, I still might not be chosen. So
yeah.
And he said that too. He said it too. What do you think, Aubrey?
I was gonna say, I think that, yeah, I like that she, as Jay pointed out, she's not delusional, and we've seen that in different seasons with different characters and different castmates, that sometimes people go to La La Land because they are infatuated with these characters and these people, and they think that the feeling is the same, and there's nobody else in the world for this other person. There's always somebody else. I don't believe there's just this one true love. I don't believe that, but yeah, I think that, you know, it was really interesting to me, the body language at the end of the day when they walked out, that she was more kissing him than he was kissing her. And I don't, you know, again, I don't know. I guess I'm just kind of a girly girl in that way. I just kind of lean back and let the man come to me more so. So for me, that was a no-no. Like, you know, just stand there and be pretty. And if he wants to give you a goodnight kiss or a goodbye kiss or whatever that thing is, he will. And if not, then shame on him, his loss.
I mean, and Randall did play basketball, but I'm kind of tired of the stereotypical comments. He's tall, he must play basketball, you know.
Yeah, I caught that too.
You got to try to get away from that a little bit. It's kind of frustrating, you know. He could be a tall scientist. Who knows, you know.
Well, you know, if you watch Maths, you know.
I don't think we've had anybody on there to say they were a scientist, but you know, you never know. Could be.
Never know.
What about, you think we move on to the Swayze meetup? Because that was really dynamic.
That was a very tension-filled luncheon, if you will. Swayze was not having it. Ron, kick this one off. What do you think about Swayze's attitude, and what do you think about Katie and Best Friend's questions? Because she was kind of attacking him.
Yeah, I've been in that Best Friend scenario. I was on the other side, but. Yeah, he was under attack. They wanted to kind of get that narrative off because it triggers some people, you know, right? The interracial dating thing. He was just, and I'm proud of Swayze, but he just wasn't with the BS on it. He was like, you know, get what I say, right? and roll with it or not. But he was probably more, it seemed like he was more mad that she put him in that situation. If you're supposed to be my number one and you're my girl and you're rocking with me, you call the dogs off. You know what I mean? You don't put me in that situation, and that's what I think frustrated him the most, and that's why he kind of walked away.
Yeah, Jay, what you think?
Yeah, as I look back at it again, you know, when we first watch it, it's a lot, and you look at Katie and like, girl, you're doing a lot right now, and her friend is doing a lot. But then when I really looked at it, I really realized she didn't really read the room very well. And I think it's
when you say she, are you? I'm sorry.
I'm talking about Katie.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not worried about the friend, but
right. Okay.
She I think it's because they have that nature of joking and playing so much with each other that she thought he would take it more lighter than he did, because she just fell out in a whole fallout laugh.
Yeah.
And I thought I think she thought he was gonna kiki with her.
He's not dumb. He knows what that narrative means.
Yeah.
When they try to throw that on there, so he was already triggered on it because he knows. Oh, they're trying to throw that
exactly, and
that narrative on it. Just like when
they was gonna laugh it off, and he didn't.
Yeah, they were doing like they're trying to throw that religion narrative on it. I knew what they were doing. Like you got a big church group. They work. Yeah. You know what I mean? You're trying to throw a different narrative here. That's not what I said at all. You're not getting my real words across. And he wanted to make sure of that because
it was definitely a miscommunication. But at the same time, he did admit that in the last couple of dating sessions he's had, it's been all Latino. Or whatever.
Right. Now, yeah,
and I can see how that kind of gets screwed up in conversation when I'm listening for one thing and you're saying one thing. And so I hear just enough to say, oh, bam, I got what I wanted or whatever. Right. And I think that's what she kind of did in that moment, and then translated it to her friend in a different way, So it wasn't so much that he solely looking for outside his race. It's just, this is what I've been dating in these past 3 years.
And he said he's trying to just expand his horizons. You know, his daughter's mother's black, his daughter's black, his mama's black.
Which means nothing. You're not sleeping with either of those people. But.
Yeah, I know. But what's wrong with trying to expand your horizons?
Well, at least not the daughter and the mother. No.
Right. I mean, you are in Miami. There's a huge Latino population in Miami. That's just what it is there. So,
which begs me to question, why aren't more African American women opening up and expanding their horizons? I still ask this question, like, basically 20 plus years later after college, more than 20 years, like, why are black women still stuck on just solely dating black men? I'm not saying there's anything wrong with having a preference. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with dating within your race, but in 2022, what's the problem? If you're living in a city, a big city, you're going to have a diverse population of other people, non-black men, and they may be more open to dating you than your own brothers are, to be fair. So I really didn't have a problem. The problem I had in this scene with Kadian and Swayze and the girlfriend, I really like to what you're saying, Jay. I really felt like, and what you're saying, Ron, I actually agree with you this time. I actually felt like the girlfriend was baiting Swayze, and she only wanted to hear a certain answer. And as soon as he said it and he was adding some more stuff to it, some context to it, she cut him off. They both cut him off twice. I counted. I went back and watched that scene about 3 times, and I didn't like that. I have no problem with black men dating outside their race. It doesn't make me feel any kind of way. But what it is that black women want to be stuck on only dating black men. And then you get upset when you see him out with a white girl, a Latino girl, or whatever the thing is, a Chinese girl, whatever. But open up your horizons. That's what Swayze was saying. And I agree with him. Wake up.
Yeah, we know now that, actually, excuse me, Ron, for a second. We know now that with the season being over, Katie and Swayze supposedly are actually together. And we're just watching the process as they get to the end of this thing. But once he pushed his plate away, I knew he was done. He was done.
Oh, yeah, I would have been too, because the one thing I don't like, don't ever put words in my mouth. Don't ever put words in my mouth and blame me for something, like for somebody to say, because one of my children is biracial, for you to say that I don't like black men, I don't date black men. That's BS. Don't ever say that. So I totally did agree with Swayze on that. That was a bunch of BS. And to what Jay was saying, I think Kadian thought it was all fun and games, but the reality is, while you're dating and you're having fun, you're still on a national TV show, and anybody that cares about their image, they're still going to care that you put out a lie about them. You're not going to put out a lie about me on national TV, not without me coming to my defense. No, you're not.
And there's a big difference in I haven't dated black women and I don't. And when I tell people about interracial dating, like to answer you, Aubrey, to be honest, the reason why a lot of black women don't do it, and I have interracial dated, so I know both sides. It's not easy. It's not easy. It's not easy.
It's not hard. It's not hard. I'm gonna tell you that.
You're gonna hit some roadblocks, different ways and stuff, and a lot of people who don't have experience in that, it's not easy.
Here's my take on it, Ryan. I understand what you're saying, and Alex and I had a very detailed conversation, and we won't get into all of that. But he brought up a lot of historical context. But I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna leave this right here: Black women are not the sole protectors of the culture. If Black men want to continue to date outside their race, marry outside their race, father children outside their race, I do not understand, like I said again, in 2022, why Black women are made to feel like we are the sole protectors of the culture and that we must only, unlike white women, unlike Asian women, unlike Latino women, unlike Middle Eastern women, and all these other races and ethnicities, why we must be the sole curator of the culture.
Yeah.
I totally disagree.
And I'm not putting that on Black women, but I'm just saying, even for Black men who date interracial, it's hard. It's not easy. Even if it goes down to having a kid and you want your kid to be more like you and more like your race and your culture. They want their kid to be more like them and their race and their culture. It's totally different. There's different dynamics.
I know what you're saying, Ron. It's like dating somebody of a different religion. You know,
it's
like,
hard. You know what I mean? So these guys are making conscious decisions.
Somewhere.
These women are making conscious decisions when they want to interracial date because it's hard. And even, I mean, I'm in defense of Swayze, but 3 years is a long time. Not dating
a sister, right? Yeah, I thought about that too. But like I said, I think the fact that he said it best, that it wasn't that he was only dating. What I got out of it, what he was saying, he dated primarily during that 3 years hiatus. And I think this is a thing again that women have to consider. So a lot of Black women are getting frustrated. They are dating solely Black men, but I hear a lot of sisters that are solely frustrated by only dating Black men. So the moment they come to the realization that there actually is culture outside of the Black race, there actually are people that sometimes more align with you. If you're in a certain income bracket, if you're a certain educational level, there are other people that align with you and your values. But if you can only see people based upon their skin and their physicality, then that's your loss. That's the way I feel. I mean, personally,
and it should be judged.
That's your loss.
Here's how I feel on high interracial dating. I don't mind interracial dating. Only thing I request is keep the same energy with each race. If I date a girl outside my race, I treat her exactly the same as if I'm out with a Black girl. I'm not cheap with this girl and more expensive than that. It's the same thing. If a Black woman is dating a white guy, I don't want her to be all feminine with him and then masculine or have an attitude.
Now, I agree with that. Ron, I can't believe we're on the same page for once.
And to compound on that, Ron, I also add to that, if you dating outside the race, don't downgrade or talk bad or about your own race.
That's a big problem, Jay. That's a big problem, Jay. I've seen that too much.
That's what I think.
It must be with Black men. It must be.
But that's what I think. That's what a lot of Black women have the problem with. I've never had a problem with you dating for love. If you love somebody, I don't care about their skin or whatever. That's not my problem. I'm not sleeping with that person. I'm not sleeping with you. So I don't really care who you love. But if you're doing it for love, that's great. But if you're doing it just because, Black women give me an attitude, Latina women to this, this right, like, bro,
don't start with
stereotyping going on and things.
Like don't do that.
Your ex, and if your ex is
right,
a Black man, it didn't go right. The Black man getting judged that
there
day.
is trash in all races.
Exactly.
I promise you. And I'm gonna leave this last little thing. And nobody thought that I would probably ever go here, but I'm gonna say something, a little snippet of what I share with Alex. I think that for my sisters, I felt like this in college, and I feel like this even now. And I just got a girlfriend to actually kind of basically admit it to me. I think that for Black women, another, besides being the curators and the protectors of the culture, the Black culture, I think the other issue was for some of my sisters was that they were concerned that, let's be honest, let's see a nice PG-13 way of saying this, that certain other people outside of our race, certain other men, may not have had the wherewithal in the bedroom, let's say. I'll just say it that way. And
not true. Not true.
Trust and believe, like I said. Okay.
They better explore their options.
I have the same standard, much to what Ron said. I have the same standard. You must treat me like a lady. You must treat me well. And everything else has got to be functioning on all cylinders. Okay. So that's not a thing, girls. That's just not a thing. Don't believe the hype.
I think Black women
on them cylinders.
When it comes to interracial dating, they're afraid of being used for their blackness. A person
But
that's
you know
experimental.
what? But you're being
Yeah.
in many cases, women are being used. That's a function of something we
They
talk
can't
about
deal
on my
with it.
other podcast is about vetting your date, vetting your men, vetting your people that you date. Okay, because
Yeah,
that's
but
a function. That's a function of male-female relationships. Let's face
that
it. That's
is
a
a function. But
dating.
what Ron is saying is just like,
What
oh,
is
I'm
he
that
saying?
token. I'm that. It's different. It's a different.
Yeah, I'm gonna try this out.
Yeah.
We need to switch it up a little chocolate today or something like that. And honestly,
That's a function of getting to know the person, because as you're saying that, the same thing again, like I said, the same thing is true. Men, period. Let's be real. Men are men and women are women, and the same concepts apply across all races. You're dating a man, and the man's job, if he's a straight man, is his job in his mind oftentimes is to get into your pants. Okay, that's simple as that. So now, if you're the person that allows somebody to use you in that way or in other ways financially, you move a person in on the second date, then that's a function of you not being a thinking person, in my opinion. That's a function. Let's be real.
It is.
Let's be real.
But here's another red flag with the Swayze thing. This is a red flag for Swayze. This is a all black show, so there's no other options but black women at the time of doing the show. So you don't know if it was a bunch of Latinos across the street, would he be a treat to go over there? You have no choice. You're sucked into the environment of Ready to Love when you're a castmate on the show. I don't care what you like. You like what's here. I don't care if it ain't here. You're gonna trick your mind into liking something that's here because that's all you got is 10 choices. She might be worried.
Right.
Hey, like if he had when the show is over, you don't got 10 choices no more. You have billions. You know what I mean? So you might worry a little bit about that. So I can understand a little, and black women, a lot of black women don't like competition. They don't like to really compete outside.
And that's what I want to get back to. That was a point that I had. I said, you know what? If black women weren't so worried about all of this, because like me, if I'm out and about, okay, let's say I'm out and about, I'm by myself or I'm with a gentleman, and I see an interracial couple, the man being black and the woman being Caucasian or Latino, whatever, doesn't bother me. I smile and grin at them like I do every other couple. It really doesn't. But here's the thing, though. I've been out with tall, handsome Caucasian men, and both black and Caucasian people seem to have, like, their face shows that they have an issue with it, But I really don't, honestly, I don't give a darn. I really don't give a darn. Because if I'm with somebody and I'm enjoying their company, there's nothing you can say, there's nothing you can do that's going to stop me from having my good time. Nothing at all.
And Swayze just felt like he was under attack. He actually did say at the table it was only 2 years that he's been dating Latino.
We heard him say 3.
I heard 3.
I heard 3.
Yeah, at the table, if you go back and watch it again, he said it was actually 2.
At the door when he was saying goodbye to Katie.
No, he said it at the table. But yeah,
he must have said 2 different things because we all heard 3.
Yeah, 2, 3 years, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't have an issue with it. Like I said, a lot of Latina women in Miami. That's just what you're going to get. But to Ron's point, it is a black show, so you come on a black show, you're going to see all black women. So why'd you come?
Well,
and
that's the thing is that it felt like not to cut you off, Ron, but real quick, it felt like a couple of the guys this season. I'm not gonna name any names, Zoe.
Why not?
I'm not gonna name any names. That a couple of the guys, it felt like really they weren't interested in being there, and I wasn't sure if that was a function of them maybe not liking women at all, or maybe them not liking black women. So I'm just throwing it out there. Go ahead.
90% of black men, and let's just call it buck. 90% of black men would preference is to marry a black woman, and I've been all around the world. I met black men, I know thousands of them, and that's their legitimate who they want. The only ones I've ever seen to say I don't necessarily rock or date with black women is probably that black male that literally grew up in the white suburbs when the white schools are and have adjusted his whole lifestyle and how he is.
Yeah, the Oreo.
Yeah, towards
the
that.
Oreo.
That guy and some of the I do have some African men, you know what I mean, who just literally say, I came here for a white woman. Like I got a friend that I'm good friends with. And a black woman, she was gorgeous. And she came up to him and she was talking. I said, aha, I got him now. Like he's smiling his face and he was testing the thing. And I said, okay, he gets there, you know what I mean? He gets there and meet the right one. And I said, hi, what you think about that? He was like, she was amazing. I said, I told you. He was like, just one problem. I was like, what? He's like, she's black.
And see, there you have it. There
Yeah,
you
that's
have
one
it.
guy. Yeah, he
So
gets
while
not
black
get a
women
dead
are
black
busy
woman no matter
worrying, do
what.
other men want them? Not even black. Some of these black men even want them. So again, I'm just.
But
You
those are
gotta
very
love who
two
loves
rare
you.
circumstances, and most black men.
Yeah.
Prefer
Let me read.
black
Let me read Donna D's comment. Donna D says it is a little different for black women. Black women are placed at the bottom of the totem pole. It's more disrespectful for black men to date outside their race. It's more disrespectful. So
How?
that's the way.
I was just addressing her in the comments. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just reading her comment because I want to know how too in her mind.
Yeah, all right.
How is
I
that?
wanna know too.
Yeah.
I'm asking her that right now because I don't really get that.
I've heard that before, so I understand why she's saying it. But I want to know to her, why does she feel like that?
You're right.
keyword
Okay, but
disrespectful.
just until she responds, what I'm getting out of that, and Donna D, correct me if I'm wrong, but it just sounds like what I just said earlier is that a lot of black women, unfortunately, are locked into their own minds about they have chains on them. It's like they're enslaved to their minds and to the culture that they feel like they must protect. And then I think that kind of goes to this whole thing of how a lot of black women coddle black men. You know, black women, some coddle black men more than they coddle their own children. It's ridiculous. Like, if you got to go out on a date, you got to pay for the date. You got to tell the man, like, you know, on this show, for example, you know, the women got to tell the men they look good. They're paying them all these compliments. I haven't heard one guy come out their mouth to say, oh, you look good. It's all about the men. It's like, oh, you look good. Oh, I'm just bowing down. No, that's not how it's supposed to go.
Aubrey, that's that powerful, independent black woman thing backfiring on you guys. So that's just what that is.
It's not backfiring on me because
if y'all feel that way, pay for the date.
Suspect to that.
There's a few things that backfire on us in this whole agenda because it's even like, I'll take Dennis Rodman for example. He was asked why he doesn't date black women, and it was because he said, as I was growing up, black women didn't want me. It was only the races that was outside that wanted me, and sometimes that's the case with a lot of these men. It's like we would dog, and I say we because we black, we dog them out or whatever, and then when they go somewhere else, we got an attitude about them going somewhere else. It's like, which I'm supposed to let you sit in this torture or something? Like, that's crazy. Like,
yeah, they dogged me when I was younger, Jay, the same way.
Who they? The black women, black girls
in school, in my neighborhood.
But you know, that's the funny thing about that, and I know Dennis Rodman personally, so I can speak.
I do too.
You're right. The point of that is that first of all, like, so people are a part of their environment. Okay, so you grow up around, many of us in America, in this country, whether you be Caucasian or whether you be black or whether you be Latino, tend to grow up in small little, you know, cliques, cultures, environments, blocks where there are people who look just like us, right? You know, our friends, our neighbors, right? And so, okay, the girls didn't like him because they thought he looked funny, but then he became a multi-millionaire. Now I don't look so funny. See, that's the whole point of what I'm saying is when people just look at the outside, be it the skin color or be it the actual features of a person, saying that this person is unattractive, but you haven't taken the time to get to know that person. That's what's BS. And that's the same reason why I say it's BS to lock yourself into only dating people in your race, because there's somebody sitting in your class right now today. If you're a college student, if you're a grad student, if you're a lawyer, if you're a doctor, if you're an engineer, there's somebody sitting there, a man, a white man, that's looking at you as a black woman saying, wow, she's smart, she's educated, she's beautiful, I'd like to talk to her. He tries to talk to you, but no, you won't talk to him. And then now fast forward 20 years later, now you're 45, 55, 60, and you're still looking for that husband, that black husband who never did marry you, the man that you were going out with for 10 years, made you 10 years a girlfriend and married the white girl, and now you're sitting there looking like one of my close friends. She's saying, well, wow, Aubrey, you tried to tell me this so many years ago when we were in our 20s. I said, hey, I can only say you got to do what you got to do. What
I think they do talk to them when white men or a different nationality approach them.
No, a lot of black women do not take. They may talk in terms of yes, hi, how you doing, but no, a lot of black women do not take.
Yeah, they're not gonna take the relationship serious because of the hurdles that's coming with it.
Yeah,
there are no hurdles. If they took the time to get to know, it's the same dang on hurdles that they got to deal with the black man. It's the same dang on hurdles. Vetting and getting to know that person. It's the same dang on hurdles, no matter what race you date.
It's the same hurdles dating. It's not the same hurdles societal. On societal level.
Black men are used to getting that hit by that. Black women don't take that well. if she have a
That's
racist
because they've not
something that
tried
came
it.
from her,
That's because they've
she's
not
gonna
tried
react.
it. If you take 100 black women, only 10 of them have dated outside their race. So how would they know? How would they know? That's just like, I'm gonna give you an example, as an analogy. That's just like if you're going to college, you're a senior in high school, you're a junior in high school, and now you're picking your colleges. The only colleges you decide to apply to are HBCUs. Nothing against HBCUs. I love them. I love them. Many of my friends are college graduates from HBCUs. But I'm saying to you, if you will only date black people inside of your race, if you're black and you'd only date black people, by the same token, then you should only be going to HBCUs then. It doesn't make sense, Ron, and you know that as a graduate of U of M, you know that. That doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
It's like all black people saying, I'm only going to be a Democrat. That doesn't make sense either.
No,
and I think they should expand, but we do have some work to do with each other, and I think that should be first priority. What I do want to say is, because I've been hearing this a lot, is this cancel culture of, oh, he don't date black men, he ain't date black women even in 3 years, something like that. So he's not my cup of tea. You got to welcome these men back. If a man takes a break or he had a bad situation with a black woman and they venture off or something like that, black women you got to bring them men back. You got to say, let me show you what I can do. That's what I do. I meet black women who say, especially on the West Coast, black women on the West Coast, LA and them, they don't mess with black men like that. Yeah. But I don't say, you mess with black men. I don't shoot my shot at you. I say, you haven't met this black man.
And Ron, to your point earlier, you made this point earlier. I've dated outside, but my preference remains black women. That's my preference. But I have dated outside because I'm open to all women. I like women. You know what I mean? So, but I'm open. But my preference.
And you know for a fact that, like I said, in those other interracial relationships, there's hurdles that black men might deal with a little better than what black women might in those type of situations. Because we, like I said, black men, we deal with hate all day, every day.
There were a lot of hurdles when I dated outside. So yeah, definitely.
The thing with those hurdles too, and why black women have the struggle or whatever, is because a man will take a wife and he takes her into her home. When a man takes a wife, you're taking her into your home. So if I'm taking a black woman into my home, I have to bring her to my parents, my family, and all of these things here. And a lot of times that acceptance is not the same as far as a black man taking a different race woman into his home. He's bringing her to his family or whatnot, or he starts his own family with her and says, you know what?
You believe that a man from another race can like you because you are an individual and be in love with you and not like black people?
I think it works both ways. I think, absolutely, Ron, to your question, that's a very valid question. And I think it's very possible. And I think it's very possible also for white women, because I've definitely seen in my experience in dating an NBA ball player here in Detroit, I've definitely seen that, and it's a thing, it's a real thing that white women are put upon multimillionaires that are obviously multimillionaires, not the understated ones that you don't even know about, right? Because there are many of those, but it's a real thing. And that these women don't even like black people, but they like you because they want your money. They want your money. So
that's it.
That's a thing either way. But again, I get back to, it's all about vetting. Where is the discernment in dating? If you're dating to have sex, if you're dating to just F around, it doesn't really matter. Just hopefully you use a condom and you stay safe. Okay. But if you're dating for long term, if you're dating for marriage, dating on either side, male or female, requires vetting. Because if you're looking for somebody long term, you're going to care about more than what they look like today. You're going to care, do they have a good heart? Do they have good characteristics? Do they have high moral fiber? Do they align with your vision for your life, and vice versa? Okay. So all of that matters.
Well, Aubrey, the last thing I'm going to say about this, we can move to the next card to get to the next friends, but I'll say this. My issue is not so much the interracial dating. It's sometimes when black people date outside or white people, the entire association becomes white. They'll be in a picture and they'll be the only black person in the picture with 20, 30 white people. To me, that's an identity crisis. That's the issue to me. So you're the accepted N-word. There's 30 white people. Where the rest of the black people at? But you think you okay and you're not. So I have an issue with that. To me, that's a problem.
And that's why I said the guy who grew up kind of in that culture wanted to be that, they fit in there much better than, than some other people because they don't see anything wrong. They're looking at it as in, these are my
Blind as a
friends,
bat.
these are my people.
But it's on both sides too, because I have one of my my play brothers, his wife is white, but she grew up around all black people. I mean, you know, she was more blacker than we was sometimes. I'm like, hair with braids and everything. I'm just like, okay, so it's just what it is.
She was albino. She was albino.
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, I think we all know in our race. I mean, I it's funny you're laughing about it, but I'm laughing now because a guy that I was in a relationship many years ago, probably one of the first white guys that I dated, you know, was the same. He grew up in the city of Detroit. He grew up around a lot of black people, and he was very, you know, the black culture. But I made a point to myself the other day to look him up because I think about people sometimes and their whole name comes to me, and I'm like, I'm gonna look that person up because, you know, 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10, they're on social media, they're on Facebook, they're on Instagram, and lo and behold, because I had a thought, because I remembered his father being, even though he would date, you know, black women, and he was perfectly fine, and he had even talked about marrying me, right? But I knew that his father was not comfortable with that. If, you know, we'll say that to be just very gentle. And I thought about it. I said, you know what? He was in the military. I know also how military people tend to slant toward a certain political leaning. And I said, you know what? I bet you he's turned just to be just like his dad. And when I looked him up and I saw the things that he was posting, I was like, yep, exactly what I thought. Exactly what I thought.
And we've seen that a bunch of times. And if you interracial date on the black side, the switch code thing, like, you'll see a woman who would date black men in a race, and then when she gets a little older, or it's time to switch back, it's like she never met a black man ever in her life.
Are we talking about Kim Kardashian?
I mean, it's happening a lot. I mean, they're able to switch out of that real quick.
Oh my goodness.
Well, you know what? And that's to me like that is the top of the block here in America. Is the whole Kardashian family has made like a whole thing out of dating black men. You know,
millions.
Well, they made millions from other things too.
One of them. She's been strictly on her white, the oldest child. I give her that.
Which one is that? Because I don't know the ball name. Is that
Courtney.
Courtney.
Yeah,
is it Courtney? Oh,
yeah.
Well, good for her. Where's my hand clap out?
I want to give her. Separates herself from them. Yeah.
I want to give her a hand for giving a few sisters a possible opportunity at dating. What could have been a brother, because you know, keep 2 or 3 black men for us. But like he said, we're gonna go. Thank you guys for giving me this platform, because I had to get that out. My thoughts on the whole. You know, my whole thoughts there. But
the next card.
Let me get back to it. I gotta hold on.
It's the next card, because we're gonna be on a time crunch soon here.
No, well, that thing there, we don't have to worry about that. But okay. But hold on. I see it. Okay. Read it.
Okay.
Hush.
Swayze doesn't have a type. He simply wants to
move
expand his horizon. The ladies assert him.
Read the very last line. Date with Shanika.
Oh, this is your boyfriend comes in. Date with Shanika, LJ, and Justice, and BFFs. You know, and also Randall.
I was like, everybody forgets Randall was there.
Also Randall.
He came in late. I was trying to get through my cards, girl. Okay, but what was the thought about that? Did Justice act a complete arse or what? What did you guys think about that?
Goodness gracious. You know, I give Justice respect for staying the course and being himself. Yeah. He's never wavered. He's never changed. Like him, love him, whatever the case is, hate him. He's been himself. He hasn't changed a bit. And he has to understand that I don't think he understood that the dating show requires that he do some pursuing. And he has a method that apparently has worked for him.
No, apparently it's not, because he's on the show.
Well, you know, maybe he's on the show to push his business or to get more notoriety or something. I don't know. But, you know, he just not with the process that it takes. That typically women like. Women like to be pursued. Show me you're interested. Come after me. And that's not who he is.
I personally, I don't know what's going on with Miami, but we in the
Injustice,
Friends dating
Enzo.
scene, and I'm seeing 4 different guys on 4 different dates with different. Y'all got to get together. We always narrowed it down at least better than this by now. It should be three dudes showing up on 3 separate dates and things of that nature. So that's one issue, and that's why he was probably like, that's why he left. He was like, man, this is crazy. Like,
yeah, but they've done this in other seasons, Ron. You got to meet the best friends. There's collective
you do, but
dates.
you're down to your 1 and 2. It's never like this girl got 3 guys coming, and then them same 2 guys then go to another girl's date, and that same guy go to another girl's date. You go to one your date with your girl friend that you like on your 1 and 2. Everybody's narrowed it down a lot more than they have. They don't know what they want right now.
It's a mess. It's a mess.
It's a mess. It's a mess. And he was like, "This is a mess." And he got up and said, "Like, I'm in here looking like a cheerleader, with 2 other guys here."
No, he left on some other stuff too, because as soon as he got on that mic stuff or whatever, as soon as he realized that there was a kiss exchange, his whole expression and everything changed.
He was not dominating the conversation. He's the type of person who wants to be center of attention. He wasn't.
And
it threw him off, and he was like, "What am I doing here?" And he got up and left.
Or whatever. But
if I'm there in my own conversation,
attention, you just filling the air with BS. Like, come on, bro. Like all that stuff he was saying. I mean, he's pure TV comedy. He's entertaining, like for TV foolery. But if you're serious about dating, all of this fluff that you was putting in this air right now, like seriously.
Okay. Y'all gonna be mad at me because I'm about to literally
what?
I'm literally gonna stand for justice, because I'm a firm believer that he was not supposed to be the person to go home.
No, I think it was time for him to go.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Now we got to disagree again. We back on the normal side again, Ryan. It was definitely time for him to go home. He had no business being there.
I'm curious to know why, Ryan.
And some people didn't. He had a connection, a serious connection
with who?
Women, and
Looney.
Her boat,
Looney.
She wasn't one of the popular women, and her boat wasn't big enough to some of the other women, which is some BS.
Yeah, Looney.
He went home, and that's not
how. But outside of that, what other reason was it for him to stay?
It didn't need no other reason. He had a connection. You got to see that out. Why is her boat not good enough to keep him there when everybody had to nail it down to one connection?
I mean, I agree with you on that, because that's my biggest issue with this show is if you have a connection with somebody, it should just play out instead of getting.
He had a connection. She claimed her
connection.
He claimed his connection. It matched. Swayze was on the hot seat. We don't even know if he's gonna talk to what's the name again. So it really should have been his way out. It shouldn't have been just has a connection. I don't care.
LJ has a few connections. LJ got a couple of connections too.
No, LJ. LJ got connections. I mean,
and does it kind of go? I'm trying to figure out. Like, does it kind of go like after so many times of you getting negative votes? Do you eventually?
At this point, everybody should have a number 1. And if somebody's not supposed to be number 1, if you don't got somebody that's claiming you as their top spot, you're on the chop block.
Right.
Yeah.
Tommy should be asking them, okay, who is it for you? And everybody was giving their person. If you were the guy who didn't get called, then you.
But okay, so like in this scenario, like I don't know if this happened with you guys. So in this scenario, basically there's Trinika and there's Looney that both has LJ. And I do know they both do like Justice at the same time, but Trinika kind of like, I think probably after her friends had said what they said, she probably leaned more to LJ. And so, and then Looney, I know she's still like Justice, but then it's still like LJ in the back. So that gives him kind of like 2 votes to the 1.
But he had Justice had a woman saying, hey, that's my number 1, no doubt. Bam, that's it. And he said, that's my number 1 girl. That's a connection. That's not no.
That's a connection, but that's a connection. But if she still has a connect, she still has another connection. That's what I'm saying. That still gives him it's a 2-1 loss because she still has LJ on the other side of it.
And somebody has to go home. That's the way. That's the nature of the beast.
Yeah, I understand somebody has to go home, but nobody who gave LJ the number 1
Trinika.
vote. What?
Trinika.
She said her friends like him. You didn't see her say, "Oh, that's my guy. That's my man, number 1." She did not do that at all.
Yeah.
And Justice Woman did, and that holds more rank unless you're saying Tanika's a more popular castmate than what's the name, and her
Okay.
vote's going to hold more.
I'm just trying to figure out how y'all
And that's
voting
exactly
thing
what
is
happened.
in
And
there.
it happened on my season. And it happened on other ones.
I got a question. Okay, Ron, I got a logistics question for you. Okay, on the show, when you vote, do you guys just list your number one, 2, and 3 person, or do you vote against the person? How does that vote actually work? We don't
You give
understand
your
as
top
viewers.
3.
Mhm.
They might not show your top 3, but, or at this point, you're going to get your top 2 because it's later in the season. First is your top 3, then they bring it down to your top 2, and then you get your bottom 3. And in this point, to be your bottom 2, like the girls are giving the guys is on their bottom.
I think what I hear Jay saying, Jay, if I can, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think what I hear Jay saying is that Justice is such an arse with the ladies, so many of them. Maybe he's not with Looney, but if you think about it, if you've offended 5 out of the 7 ladies and they've got you all in their bottom spot, the top bottom spot,
We didn't hear that though. We heard a bunch of guys in bottoms.
You've got to go. What?
We didn't hear him in a bunch of bottoms. We heard everybody that was in different bottoms.
He's not in a bunch of bottoms, but they're of course, like you say, they give you your top 3, and so they're highlighting which ones they want to highlight from that to lead the mystery of it all. You know,
it
for
gets
the
to
TV.
A point where it's not no top 3 and no 2 more. We're in the point
but even if they give your top 2 at the bottom right now, and he's in pretty much everybody's, say one person's like Mike and Justice, next person is say LJ and Justice, something like that or whatever. That's what I'm saying. Like those numbers that add up.
Swayze was in the bottom. LJ was in the bottom. We heard the women. This is coming from the women.
Yeah, but we heard the women say different things. But editing says different things, and you're telling me right now that you guys have top 2, top 3, top this, and so
at this point, they might be far enough in the season where Tommy can say, "Yo, who?" And that's what he kind of did. Who's your top? Who you like the most? Who you like the least? 1 and 1, and that's kind of what he was doing. And she had a vote. She picked him as her top. Nobody else, and he likes her. That's a connection. He wasn't in everybody's bottom. I could see if it went like where you were like in everybody's bottom.
Well, I'm not gonna say everybody's bottom, Ron, but the great majority of women was like, he can go.
Right. That's what I'm trying to get you to see, Ron.
I didn't see that when I heard them voting. I heard
it's been the last couple of weeks of that.
They've been talking about this for weeks, Ron. It's not just last. It's not just last night. Yeah. They've been talking about it. They've been saying that he must go because he's offended so many different women. Okay, that's what we're trying to get you to see.
I think that honestly, if Lonzo, if Lonzo didn't blow up on Sharice, I think Justice would have went home that week.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, because of the stuff he pulled.
Yeah,
they actually could have did a double elimination when they let go Zoe. They should have let go Justice. But Ryan, could you read that comment that's on the stage if you on the screen if you don't mind?
Said Justice wasn't calling anyone. That's why Looney liked him. She shared that she's not a phone person either.
That's an excellent point.
Well, look, Looney got a problem now. She might be the next girl gone. And I told you from the beginning that phone is the most important asset you have.
Yeah.
Right. You did. I thought that was odd that Looney said she's not a phone person.
Not a phone
How many
person.
women do you know that are not phone people? That's really weird.
Yeah, y'all got big mouths.
And,
shush.
I know. That's not phone people, but it was just odd because
as strong as any other ladies. What I'm saying.
Yeah, it was just odd because she was excited that LJ was hitting her up on the phone at first and all this stuff too. So I was just like, it was kind of weird, but I'm like, all right, whatever.
Right.
Yeah, I know that's what it was. It's like, I'm favoring this person more, so I ain't about to talk to you that much. But
Unbelievable. Put the card back up there, Aubrey. Let's see here.
There you go.
They also said that Justice was a joke, and they also said they could smell ish from a mile away, which wasn't very nice to say about Justice.
I don't know why, but anyway.
But Sharice and Samson seemed to have a very good meeting with her friend. She seemed to like Samson. What do you guys think about Sharice's friend and Samson?
It looked good.
Yeah. They're growing.
Samson always presents well on these
very
days.
well. A little too well.
Yeah. Ron, that is twice. Wait a minute, I gotta give you a hand clap. That is twice because I was
Samson reminds me of, and I hate to say this because that's my brother, but Samson is David.
Is that your frat brother?
Yeah, my frat brother, but
okay.
Samson reminds me of David on our show because them boys can talk and they always gonna put out their best.
That's funny because I would have said Jay Brad.
Jay Brad too. These are the same people Jay
Craig
Brad,
ain't
these are
waving.
people that's always gonna give you. They're gonna shake the hands, kiss the babies. They're gonna say the right stuff all the time.
Yeah.
Right, political,
All three of them are
right.
immaculate speakers, and they're always gonna be
Yeah.
on the salesman pitch. And
Yeah.
you never know, how serious the pitch is.
And I'm gonna tell you, Samson is hot in these YouTube streets. He's watching all these podcasts.
Oh yeah, I still got to
I'm
get
telling
back with him because
Sam's
he
is
made
hot
a
in
very
his YouTube,
he made a
yeah.
comment that
Hey.
really was not accurate about our podcast. But we'll talk Samson, and we expect when the season
He
is
clarifying everybody's inaccuracies
You know,
around here.
I'm
Don't
not
worry
gonna
about it.
Oh yeah, but we expect to see you on the show because we got questions for you. You got questions for us that you posted on my on our comment section, but we got questions for you too, buddy. So
Hey,
get
I don't
with
blame
it.
him. Watch what you say. Play your perfect role.
Yeah.
Because when you are emotional and you are real and stuff like that, you get, as you see, people talk about you. So I mean, I'm not mad at him for putting on his best foot forward, but it's hard to gauge
Yeah.
how into a woman you are and stuff like that. Because, like I said, the guys who were doing it before, you thought they were really into this certain woman, and then kind of find out they wasn't, and you kind of named a few names.
Yeah. Well,
You know, I mean, even like Walter, you kind of get that. But Walter has some issues. We kind of peeped that a little bit in the beginning, but it's give that energy still. Like it's just mono. It's not really going anywhere. Like
Yeah, I mean, you got cameras around. You know, some people watch what they say. They're really image part of this show. But to me, you cannot really get the full experience of the love part.
Yeah.
Watching what you say every second, knowing where the camera is every second. Adjusting. You always making sure you have the right line every. I mean, it's hard to do. Sometimes you got to make a choice.
Is Sharice all in on Samson? Because
No.
she seems like she's all in on Samson.
I think she is.
And
I don't think so.
she may be the next to go because she's been in the bottom 3 weeks out of this season. 3 weeks.
I think out of her options, Samson is that top option. You know what I'm saying?
Who's
that
the
she
other
got
option?
to-
Who else
Well,
she got, Jay?
Justice was the other option.
Yeah,
to
he
be honest.
gone.
Justice was the other option
Okay.
and stuff. But I don't see
They're
her
both each
having
other's
a
only
real-
option really right now because
Yeah.
Randy was, she kind of made her bet. So
That's what I'm saying. So it's just like I think they just have this connection because they're each other's option more so, but they're trying to
I think
figure it
make
out.
a little sense. You know what I mean? It ain't a horrible.
It's not. It's not a bad matchup or whatever, and I think they're trying to figure it out or what as it goes. So that's why I said it's some promise there, but I don't think she's all in to just him. I think she's in a place where she can pull a Sabrina at the end or some stuff like
I
just
think
like I choose me.
for her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they both can do that, but I just feel like they're both in that mindset. It's just like we'll see how this goes.
I mean, we missed a point on Orby's last card. I meant to address it. I hate to go back to it, but I gotta say that I love to see Trinika's cheeks. She had them cheeks out. I love it.
Anyway, moving on. Moving forward. Okay,
We got to talk about that.
You did fine. Okay, I'll take over from here. Kyle and Randall and Mike. What did you guys think about? Kayla and her date with Randall and Mike and her best friend. I thought it was interesting that Kayla got very emotional at the end after the friends kind of were talking to her and saying basically like Magic Mike is the guy that you've always dated and you've always had a problem with that type. Why don't you go ahead and try and see what's different about Randall and see if there's a connection there? And Kayla got very emotional. Why do you think that was? Why do you think that was, Jay?
You have a realization of where you've been going wrong, and you realize that it's you're your worst enemy. And I think that's what she had in that moment right there. It's just a realization is that I do think I sabotage my own stuff.
Yeah, I think she realized she's the epitome of nice guys finish last, and she realized it in that moment, and it probably struck her.
Oh wow, that's deep. That's deep. Ryan, you have any thoughts on it?
Why is that not right? No, it's
y'all not right as people because if that was a male in that situation, y'all would have dragged him. But him getting emotional, crying over two women or two guys.
Well, she wasn't crying over the women,
she was crying over. Yeah,
she wasn't
crying over the guys.
Yeah,
she's crying on the situation, but none of them guys that picked their number one. They all had
No, but that's what I'm saying. That it's not about the guys; it's about her.
Right.
And then it for us. And I've had these moments before. Is when you come to a realization of something that you thought you had correct and you've been doing right, and you really realize, okay, I am wrong, and I have no clue of where to go. That's a scary feeling, and sometimes it does bring you to tears. And that's what I just gauged from her. I don't know how true it is, but that's what I was getting from it.
Yeah, because there's an old adage: we don't see ourselves as others see us. So her best friend has been looking at her behave a certain way for years. Yeah. And it's like, this has not been working for you, but you keep going for this. Try Randall, try something different. That's what she's saying to her. And she kind of hit her in the heart with something that triggered her, and she started crying because it probably brought back some bad memories.
Definitely. Okay, I can see
you know.
Yeah.
I was looking at it like
no, she wasn't crying over the man, Ron. That was not the point. She was not. I think it's like what Jay is saying. She's crying over like that I keep making these same mistakes, and that goes back to I think what I was trying to say about vetting people and actually getting to know yourself and looking really honestly assessing the mistakes that you keep making, the same mistakes, because we all have friends. Let's think about it. If one of you three, besides myself, does not have a friend that you know that really is serious about love, about dating, about marriage, and has been dating for years, but if you think about the people they keep picking the same type of people, and you've tried talking to them, but they never can see the error of their ways. Is that not true of all four of us? I know I got my hand raised over there.
My oldest daughter right now.
Oh,
I'm telling you, I'm not going to put too much personal information
please don't,
out there.
Yeah, please
I'm
don't watch this. Don't watch your dad on this.
You said too much already. You said too much already.
Lord have mercy. Exactly. Lord.
No, I mean, I've had these moments to myself. I've had these moments where some people say something and it just hits me like, damn, you know, like I'm my own worst enemy.
You changed my whole light on that.
Yeah. It wasn't. I didn't see it about the guys. It was more so what her friend was saying, and a realization in that moment, like, you know what?
I see it how you see it.
Yeah, and it's a growth. Sometimes we need this, and growth hurts, and so we cry.
And that's a good thing about the show, because you are able to date to a certain extent somebody that's not usually your type of what you used to date. But there's no penalty. It's a TV show, you know. Right. It's you got people there to gauge the stuff. It's not like you're in the real world and you're just throwing a dart at somebody that that you're not comfortable with. You're in a comfortable setting where it allows you to experience somebody who might be right for you, but might not be your original type.
Usual.
Yeah. And I do like that.
That's kind of like what's going on with Sharice and Sampson. You know, Sharice been saying it. That's not what I usually go for. But then she's opening herself up to say, maybe I should try new things.
Oh, you know, and I just real quick, guys, I just remembered a line from the show the other night. So what Kayla's friend was telling her was this whole time while we were sitting here and the two gentlemen, we were interviewing them, right? Randall had his eyes on you. He kept focusing on you. He was into you. But you, on the other hand, had your eyes the whole time on Mike. And I think that's what's interesting about these group dates, because even if you go back to, who was that? Was that Trinika that was all over Mike in the previous date? She was leaning all in on him. And even Justice said, and I kind of, for once, I almost kind of agreed with him. Like the way she was leaning in, he was like, well, you know what? This group date, what's that, Looney? This group date has really shown me some things about her that I hadn't seen before. Because if you are in a situation, if you happen to like somebody romantically and you see them with somebody else that they like romantically, now you've got to reassess, well, wait a minute. Did they ever really like me, or are they just entertaining me? Maybe just going out. We're having these lunch dates, like Ron said, an innocent lunch date. But I'm looking at them romantically as a partner, a potential partner, but they don't see me that way. So you really have to see, do people see you as a homegirl, or do they see you as the next woman in their life?
What y'all don't understand as an audience that we see as castmates is we do not see each other. We do not see the other people's dates. We do not hear the phone call. We have when a girl is talking to us on the phone or whatnot, or we on a date, in our heads, we almost think she's only talking to us because we don't see her with anybody else. And then when you see it for the first time, it can hit you.
Yeah.
You'll feel a certain type of way. Like, where's this guy come from? I haven't heard about him. He ain't talked about you in the guys' lounge. You know, none of this is came out, and out of nowhere, you've been kissing this guy or something. You've been dating this guy. Like, it throws you for a loop, and it happens all the time. But you don't understand, like prime example on our season, with the Amber and KG thing. I never knew KG went on that many dates with Amber. And I was like, I've been trying to get a date on there, and you went on 9? I don't see
Right.
I'm just pursuing her as I would pursuing a woman I like. I don't know what's going on.
But Ron, if you were in a group date, let's swap all these people out and let's put you back on the show.
Okay.
Once again, and let's put you and Amber there, and Amber invites you to meet her friends, and on that same date is KG. Now you see what I'm saying, though? Because
yeah, I would feel certain type of way. If I see their chemistry going, I'd be like, "Where this come from?"
Right, exactly. That's my point.
Because he wasn't really even claiming it like that in the gentleman's lounge. I could see if he was fighting to death with Tommy there. None of that was going on, so I would have been totally blindsided, like Justin.
And that's kind of like why Justice checked out in that date.
Yeah, I
with
was like,
Tamika and stuff like that. Yeah.
Telling me this, and I'd be like, "Yo."
But to get back to the Kayla situation, I had a situation like this with one of my friends where they had to literally tell me, they was like, you keep going after people that don't want you. Go for somebody that wants you. And
that's
they
what my
didn't
mama
mean
said,
that.
love who love you.
Yeah, they meant it
don't
because
love
they had, I didn't get what they were saying at first, but they were saying you going for people that are sexually attracted to you, but don't really want you.
Which
like
is basically any man with a penis that's heterosexual.
Yeah.
I did it with you already. You know what it is. Come on, people not
But
acting. You know
it's
what?
like you're
didn't
going
put him to the side
after
and talk to him
unattainable
about
men, people that is not available to you in that regard, instead of going for people that are actually wanting to be with you. You overlook those people.
Yeah, and Jay, just because, and I say this all the time to women, I've seen women do this time and time again. They want the sexual chocolate or the handsome, tall guy or whatever. That's not the guy for them. They overlook the nice guy. And just because it's not, in a box, we're talking about women right now.
Yeah, whatever. Don't try to keep on track. Go ahead and leave the show.
Yeah. Just
Ron,
because,
sit back and watch.
Yeah. Just because it's not in a box, because women like to put stuff in a box. He got to be 6'2", he got to be this, he got to be. No, men just want nice body and that you're going to put out. So women are more complicated.
Thank you for
That's a
telling
little loose box.
You
Men put a little loose box. That's what they want, a loose box.
Women are more complicated, so they got this. They got this box.
They want what they want, and they ain't budging much.
Yeah, and they got these list of things, and if you don't fit this list of things,
you cannot.
Some of them are the same women that end up 70 years old, and some of these men 70 years old and single, never married,
ain't got nobody.
In your inbox talking about what's up, big head.
Yeah, exactly. That's
if
right.
You're a man that's 5'7". That's your genetics. You can't do anything about that.
You can't do anything about that. But you know what?
But that's one of the ones.
You can find you some women that's 5 feet tall.
Ain't nothing wrong with an average size guy.
If you're a man and you are not well endowed and you're very small, you can't do anything about that. Yeah, you can get an implant.
Now you can.
No, yeah, but for women, if you're a woman and you got your boobs done and your butt done, all the guys are like, "Oh, that's nice." All the women are like, "Ooh, you're working on yourself." I can't be a man and be like, "Oh, look at my new Pinot implant," and you're gonna be like, "Good. I'm glad you did that." I'm done. I can't do anything about it.
Look at these pills I'm taking.
You'll be able to say that, okay?
You can wear them little ghetto shorts, like you can wear them little bitty shorts.
Hoochie Daddy.
Randall wearing, advertised like Randall.
Yeah,
right. Alex, I'm curious to know. All the ladies want to know. Do you have a pair of Hoochie Daddy shorts?
Hell no.
Why not? Oh, wait a minute. You got the basketball shorts. What you got over there in your wardrobe?
Put it this way, I love boxer briefs. They want to see that. I could put on some boxer briefs.
Oh my! You got your John Stockton. Like that? Okay, you know what? We about to go off.
You got them John Stocktons.
The John Stocktons. The John Stocktons.
Oh my lord! Oh my lord!
Oh my goodness.
Well, we heard that. Okay, we did all that. Kayla. Samson is queried about his age, and I will say personally, Samson, in case you're listening again, I think that you look great for your age. But
48.
You look darn good. You look real good.
I would never guess 48.
We would have never guessed that, but we want to know, when are you ready to get it popping with the marriage and the whole thing? Like, get down to business now, because you done had several years to date, sir. Okay, several years. Go ahead, Alex.
Yeah, but King Randall says that he and Kayla have been interrupted several times, and Sharice is told that Samson is ready to love. Okay.
Got her girlfriend. Yep.
Yeah, King Randall says, well, again, to your point, Aubrey, Randall is looking at Kayla the entire time. Women always say, focus on me. I want to be the only one in the room to you. Randall's doing all that, but she wants Chocolate Thunder over here.
She wants Chocolate Thunder, Magic Mike, and Magic Mike is not really feeling her like that, because he basically, and then see, this is where, as a woman, if I had been all smitten with him, infatuated with him like Kayla obviously was, when he said, and he offered her up to another man, that would have been the end of my fantasy right there. Because
but technically he didn't offer her up to another man.
Did,
the end of my fantasy with him would have been that insecurity, because it's like, you're not gonna keep talking. Why you keep bringing up this man over here over this little bitty
type of way about them
kisses. I know that, but that's only gonna last so long. He likes her. He likes her. Oh, he does like her. That's why he keeps bringing
I think he wants her sexually. I don't think he likes her for a partner. I really don't.
I don't know how he likes her, but I know he likes her.
No, he likes her sexually, like we were just saying a minute ago. A lot of men like a lot of different vaginas.
But he got to like her a little bit more, because if he just wanted her sexually, he wouldn't be bothered who she kissing on and all that stuff either, though. Like, come on. Like,
I think that's his out. I think that's his out card right there. Because
that could be his out card or whatever, but it's just like so stupid, because after a while it's like, bro, that's toxic, that's draining, and it's just annoying. Like,
very toxic.
I'm surprised she's not over it yet, and it's something about that mystery of not paying me no attention. Sometimes we be addicted to that little BS.
Right. That's what I was just about to say. She's the girl, and that's what her friends are trying to get her to recognize, which is why she started crying, because she did recognize it for a second, but she's going to probably go back to her old habits. She's the girl that chases the guy that doesn't want her. That's who she is.
And change don't come overnight.
At least that's what I got out of it. She's sweet, she's wonderful, all of that stuff. She's very beautiful, but she's the woman that's attracted. She likes that. She likes confusion. Sometimes we're attracted to confusion because, especially if we grow up in chaotic families and dysfunctional families, that is what we're accustomed to. We're wired for that, and that's what she seems to be wired for, in my opinion. Not,
Well, I think she needs to. I mean, she does once she has to make a decision, because she doesn't necessarily have a number one right now on either side. No guy choosing her as direct number one, and she hasn't. And if she wants Mike, she wants to play by his rules, because Brandy is saying, "Pick me."
Yeah, Brandy.
Energy, and that's what he likes.
Yeah.
So that's what he likes. That's what I was saying. That's why I don't think he really likes Kayla like that, because he has made it very plain, at least to the audience, from my viewpoint, he has made it very plain that he really does like Brandy. He's definitely
Brandy is pulling it off strong.
But you know what? But you know what? I don't know if it was Kayla. I think it was Kayla, but they made a good point. She related him to Justice, who they both are from the same county. And she's like, it must be that type of thing in that area where you got to chase the man and all this stuff like that. So
Mike down, he down with the women chasing. Big
So
Mike.
it might be the way they raised in that area.
Brandy came in kind of with the pick me. Which I love pick me's. I think pick me's are winning. And she came kind of with that attitude, and that's going to gravitate. It's a path of least resistance. It's very easy for a man to say.
But and it also could be like, I don't know how many men women outnumber the men in their area. Maybe that's one of the things. There's it might be a whole bunch of competition when they were growing up.
This whole men pride is the prize, women the prize thing is.
I'm not saying who's the prize. I'm saying while they were growing up in whatever town they're in, women might outnumber, so they're used to women chasing after them to get their attention and all this stuff.
Justice said, "Yo, I played ball. I was used to women chasing me."
But they're both from the same place, and they both
got 200, 150,000 Instagrams. He used to women chasing him, so they both kind of came in with a pass. It has been done. So
and Brandy sold out on Mike pretty quick. She just going through the process. You know what I mean? That Mike is her guy, and if he has a connection with somebody else, he leans towards somebody else, she's going to have to go home because she's all in on Mike.
She's all in.
Yeah.
And Mike's gonna take the path of least resistance. He don't like like you said, he's like Justice. He don't want to work for nothing.
Well,
Right.
his insecurity is not going to let him work for Kayla because Kayla is what he called his fantasy. That means too many men. He got to fight too many people for her.
Right.
Well, right
Too
now,
many-
she's not giving him 100. She's not giving him. The
Yeah,
same
but I'm just
respect
saying
that Brandy is.
overall, even if she gave 100 to him, it's still, that's a fantasy. I got too many people going to be wanting you. So that's going to always be a problem.
Jay, I got a question. Do you recall, was it last week or so when Brandy and Mike had a date? I think it was a one-on-one, and Brandy, I'm sorry, I'm gonna say my name's wrong. Kayla and Mike had a date one-on-one, but Kayla kept alluding to the fact that she seemed to know or feel that Mike was into Brandy more.
Mhm.
So now, is that something maybe that, I don't know, that maybe Brandy is saying in the ladies' lounge to give her that impression? But Mike never really said anything on that date. It was like he kept alluding. It was, what it felt like to me was like he was out with a side piece. Honestly.
But
It
that, I
felt
mean,
like
you can see it. You
letting
can
her
feel it.
know that you are not number one to me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but you can see it. You can see it every time they get into group set. It's him and Brandy is over in the corner somewhere sitting
Yeah.
together.
The cast
And
knows.
yeah,
I had cast members on my cast that we knew they were together. You know, like for the most part, you didn't want to vote against his girl. You know what I mean? It was kind of known. So the cast knows that that's who she likes.
It's obvious, even from the way he treats her, talks to her, and all that stuff like that. It's like you don't talk to me the same.
Yeah.
You don't do the
And
same.
I wouldn't be surprised if he even said, like I said, it happened on our show where guys say, "Yo, if she goes, I'm leaving." So none of y'all about, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, we've seen that before.
We've seen that, yeah. With
Yeah.
who was that right away liked each other? From,
Jay left. Jay left right away.
Jay, but I mean, like recently in DC, who was that?
Oh, that was
did,
opposite the round though, but it was
Camille.
Yeah, that was
Camille.
yeah, Camille and
and Cornelius, yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
We've seen that. I mean, we've seen that where people, and even what's his name left with also that same season, probably from the Brown Girl Squad. Can't think of her name right now.
Oh, Naeem and Zadia.
Naeem and Zadia. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's his name.
Yeah.
Naeem?
Yeah, and I think I think we seen did we see Ace self-eliminate from Potomac?
She did
Yeah.
when
Mhm.
gosh, I'm
Laverne.
names. Laverne.
Yeah.
Laverne. Yeah.
We seen
Laverne,
Ace
if you had come on
self-eliminate.
our show and been interviewed, I'd have remembered your name because I definitely remember Ace's name because she was on
Yeah.
our show being
Right.
interviewed like Ron was. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but closing elimination dates, guys, what did you think about the elimination dates and your closing thoughts for next week's trailer?
Yeah, I think for the elimination dates between Justin and LJ, they definitely got it right. Justice probably should have been gone a week or two ago. I think
Wasting our time.
I think the LJ is a much better personality in my opinion
Yes.
for this process.
Right.
I'm not saying Justice is a bad guy; he's just not for this process.
Correct.
You know, and so people seem to gravitate toward LJ. I'm surprised he was on the bottom, but he was. But I knew he would stay and Justice would go because that was long overdue, in my opinion.
Ron?
I believe they got it wrong. I believe that Justice had a connection, a number one. LJ did it. You could say that Shanique thing, but watch how that turned out. And I don't think she picked. You know what I mean? It's because the friends liked them. Don't mean I don't think that was her cup of tea for
She
direct.
still got Randall in her back pocket too.
Yeah, and I think that I always like that connection. I think that's going to turn back around. But yeah, I think you're leaving LJ on. You know what I mean? Because better personality for TV, definitely. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
fun-loving guy, everything like that. But why would you take away a man who had a connection with a number one to somebody who I don't believe had a direct number one? If we're looking, if the goal at the end is love, and that's just how I feel about it. But
what I'm trying to figure out, this is the thing. Justice connection was with Looney, right?
Mm-hmm.
Neither one of them are phone people. How the hell are they talking?
Exactly.
Only on set.
Let me be there. Wait, hold on. Let me do them. This is a conversation. Looney to Justice. We gonna stay in this game as long as we can. Justice. Okay, that was it. That was the
all,
We don't know that though. We don't know if they had a real
Correct.
connection or not. I don't know.
Justice had no connection with
Holland.
anybody. He was not connected with anybody. Looney was trying to connect herself with Justice. That's really what that was.
I thought so too. Until when he came into the date, he was like, "Yo, this is the one I was looking for," and his energy was different. Let's give him that.
His energy is different with her,
Yeah.
but he also has different energy with Sharice because Sharice is the only one that got him on the phone.
Mm.
Sharice
that's
said she
true.
was having conversations with him on the phone. So, you know,
She was
like
having a conversation with everybody though. Remember, she didn't want to have a conversation with Swayze.
she true is having a conversation with a lot of people, but
Yeah, she
I
got
mean, for
Swayze done
everybody
before
else that was saying
her.
that they had a hard time getting him on the phone or getting him to talk, she seemed to be the only one, and I think that's because she didn't pay him no attention, and so he tried to.
Well,
he
she
had
gets
to
the phone. She's the resident phone person. Like I said, she do the
yeah, but he didn't. She also didn't pay. She also didn't pay Justice no attention.
What does that mean?
I told you that it's one person that got everybody's number, and that's the person who be friends every. You know what I mean? You feel comfortable spilling your dirt to that person.
Yeah, because
That's why Swayze called her.
Swayze called Sharice
Swayze
to
was
talk
being
about
petty as
Katie.
hell. Swayze was being petty as hell. That's what Swayze was doing. He knew that she was gonna say that.
Felt comfortable saying, "Girl, man, look what happened to me."
Man,
That's
he
what-
was being
I see
petty.
what Ron is saying because I've been that person in the group. I've been that person in the class.
Yes, one
where
person in the
I'm
group
the
is kinda
person
like
where
that.
everybody confides in me because here's the thing: I actually know how to keep a confidence.
In
I
our
agree.
group, for the males, it
I
was
agree.
Jason, and for the girls,
Yeah.
it was
Do
Kyla.
you really think
Kyla.
Sharice is that person in that group out of all them women?
Well, you know, clearly she came out and spilled the beans, but I'm just saying.
No,
But
I'm
he
not even
felt-
talking about
he
the
felt
confidence. Do you really
comfortable.
think she is just the one that just be like everybody want to call her and talk to her?
It's guys.
Well, not at the
I think
beginning
guys
of the
do it.
show, but now that things have kind of mellowed out, I think that she, may be that one. I don't know. What do you think? Who do you think? Well, who do you think would be the person then? If it's
I
not
would think
Sharice-
Tanika more than anybody. That's why she got all these damn options.
Yeah,
Now that's a point. That's a point.
Nah, the nigga look good. That's why she.
yeah. She
Tanika
had
look
them,
good.
Women
Tanika look
look
good,
good.
but
All the
Tanika got a
women
little.
look great.
Tanika got a little player in her too. So I've been watching
Yeah.
Tanika.
that's
She
why she
know
had them
herself
cheeks
all
out.
on people. She was all on LJ.
Oh yeah,
rubbing all up and down them.
Tanika was out
Yeah, but
darn
you
near.
call, like I said,
I counted
like-
3 times where Tanika was darn near twerking in that little rumper set.
Yeah,
that
you
she had
wouldn't.
on at the
You
end.
think you call if you call us some serious stuff about somebody else, you call her. You might not get the real. She might be playing around. But if I call Sharice, I'm gonna get a real. She gonna tell me what's going on. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she gonna tell me, oh, that girl was playing. She be playing with you.
Yeah,
she gonna give me the real stuff.
but if I got a real connection with Katie and in this situation, and I already know them two got to be back and forth. This is a petty move that I'm doing to call Sharice because Katie ain't holding her water on nothing, and so I already know he know that they've been beefing a little bit, having a little tit for tats and stuff like
You
that.
know.
So he was doing it. He was helping her get back at the same time as
But
get his.
sometimes
stuff
as a man to be
together
for his defense, you don't know how deep that women thing is because as men, we kind of try to stay out of that.
Mhm.
So just because y'all have a little fuss, we don't-
Most men.
What?
Most
men.
men, some men
He like
don't.
to talk just as much too. She said it, Katie, and said it back. It's like y'all
Because
both
I
like
messed up on that. I took a
But you know what? The
and I
fact
took this woman to somebody she didn't like, you know what I mean? And I didn't know that. And she was like, I don't like that girl. I was like, how am I don't know.
the fact that Swayze called Sharice to
Yeah.
talk about Katie, and you see the trailer for next week, that sparked something because now they're going at it.
Well, it should
You know,
spark something, but
You know,
don't get saying.
yeah, that sparked something.
It should. It
So,
should.
But
I
you know,
get what you're saying. Like
Mhm.
he should not have called her first. You call like she was been waiting for that call. She didn't even have it before the whole.
I feel like unless he called the other women and vented to them too, he was being petty. I'll take it back if he called the other women.
people, but he still should have called her.
Yeah.
I
he
mean,
should have
I
talked to
mean-
her, but I mean, I get it. He was venting.
He's mad,
and
he's
so
mad,
if He
he's
was
mad,
venting.
he's
He was mad. But if he did it with the other women just to get it off his chest, then I'll take it back or whatever. I'll take it back that he was being petty. But if he just called her, he was venting and partially being petty while he was mad.
Yeah, I think he was just bidding out. He called a bunch of other ladies and let them know the situation was going on. But the fact of the matter is, she's gonna take it personal that you did not hit me up. We supposed to have this connection, and she's right. We supposed to have this connection. You feel so
But at the same time, she also got to look at it on her end. Okay, you first you want to hold everybody accountable for what they say to you, out to you or to anybody else. You holding people accountable. You got to be held accountable too. You got to be expected to be held accountable too. So even though I know she didn't try to out him, and I give her kudos for that. She didn't try to out him up in the thing because she's like, that's still my connection. I'm not gonna turn on him just because of this or whatever. But she should have expected that somebody else is gonna call her and say, hey, tell it how it really was.
Everybody's talking.
Tell it how it really was. You know what I'm saying? Be for real. Because you did the same thing with Sharice, and it happened to be Sharice that gets you back. But you did the same thing with Sharice. You want to hold her accountable. So now it's her back here saying, hey, hold yourself accountable.
Well, Swayze should have called Chocolate Cheeks. I would have called Chocolate Cheeks. So
I would know Chocolate Cheeks. Who's Chocolate Cheeks? You talking about
Tranika.
Tranika with the short shorts on, bending over, twerking in the camera 3 times. Like, hey, I'm gonna make my Instagram pop. Doggone it.
Hey, great form. Great form. We give it a 10 on the form.
Oh, you like it? Hey, wait a minute. You got a chance to call her. You got a chance to call her.
She threw it in a circle. I don't know. I don't understand. I'm going to Miami, but.
Oh, yeah. You in Miami a lot. Okay, Ron. Don't let me find out.
Thank you, Roro.
What's that club Justin promoted? So you can get down there and they might be all in there.
He's at the what do you say?
I forgot.
I know the person that runs the Hard Rock in Fort Lauderdale. It's my guy, Honeycutt.
Really?
Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah, so there you go. You might find her up in there. You know,
I love all my castmates. I'm always trying to support them all. So I'll check out Justin. I ain't gonna say I'm sick of him talking. I'm coming there and buy a ticket and check him out, whatever you got going on.
That's what Taylor said.
Look on your Instagram, and when you're in Miami, I know you're gonna be hanging with Justice. So I already
Right.
Alex sat there and said the booty don't lie.
Oh, don't lie.
Like Shakira, but not Shakira.
Down to the booty. Down to the booty.
Was that Erykah Badu?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's it. For real.
Guys, go ahead.
I'm saying, what are your thoughts on next week's trailer before we get out of here and close this up? Because we saw the argument going on. What do you think, Jay?
I don't understand why is this need as women to make friends all the time. If it happens genuinely, great. Great. But if I'm looking for love, why do you think I'm trying to make a love connection with you or a friendship with you in this process? I mean, if we happen to be friends, great. But I'm not going to sit here and go around, hey, you want to be friends? Hey, you want to be friends? Hey.
That was Shakira's problem. That was her problem.
And not being either being an actor or actress and not being healed, because I'm not sure which, because somebody sent me a photograph of her on her own TV show.
Yeah.
That person shall remain nameless.
Yes.
I guess she was on something 4 or 5 years ago, so that's her thing, which we knew
it
she was
kind of played
model.
up. Now, I know that was kind of played up a little. Ain't nobody that.
Yeah, but I'm like, you know what? Either you're very unhealed. I mean, and I was genuinely concerned for her, but if she was acting, kudos to her, because I took it that it was really serious, that she was very generally unhealed, and that was a thing. Like, you don't need to be dating until you take care of that. And then also the other part of that was, for me, is that as a mother, you know, that's not your personality. That's not who you are. You're a mother. Yes, it's a part of who you are, but let's bring something to the table.
It was very one-dimensional. It's very one-dimensional.
Exactly.
When it's that one-dimensional, I always think like, okay, you wanted somebody carved out a certain niche with the mental health thing. You know what I mean? But,
and she's definitely an actress, Ron. I saw her on another own show, so she's definitely an actress. You know,
I hope she wasn't acting with that storyline, because that would be really tragic. Like,
it would be.
No, it wasn't that storyline.
Really going. Okay, I'm like, it's really people going through that. So I hope you.
No, it definitely is, and that's why they was trying to, you know what I mean, really highlight it, which is good. But you know, I'm not mad at the whole situation.
We got one of our members and moderators extraordinaire says, hey, check her out, and she's good people. So if you guys want to connect, let me know, and I'll be the middle person. But LMV is saying, Ryan, give me a hookup. I'm in Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Yeah. Hook up LMV. Hook her up, Ron.
She's trying to get into the club. She's trying to get into the clubs.
Maybe one of your frat brothers or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, love is abounding. You know, we heard about your sisters finding love. So let other people find love. Let's, as Black people, we want to keep the culture going. Then let's introduce good people to good people. All right.
What do we mean by when we say Black people keep the culture going? Black people are the only people that can have different race of people. So the culture is never gonna die.
No.
No, yeah,
Mm-mm.
I agree.
That's what I'm
I agree.
figuring
I was being a little slightly facetious.
I
but
know,
no,
I was just, but
no,
you're
but
not the only
I
one that's
think
been
that
saying that lately, and I've been hearing it a lot. And I'm like,
Mhm.
our culture is never gonna die. I don't know where it's gonna
Absolutely,
go.
you're absolutely right. But I would just say, let's just keep good single people meeting good single people, because
Hello.
I do hear, and I have to say, I do hear from single girlfriends that it is a struggle out there. And my one girlfriend was saying, "Well, what are you gonna do?" I said, "I tell you what, I'm not gonna do. I will not be doing online dating. That's what I won't be doing."
You got to though. These days, come on now.
Yeah.
You gonna tell women? You gonna tell women that interracial date?
Ron,
You
been
know,
there,
Aubrey, you're
done
wrong.
that.
You gonna
Been
tell
there,
women
done that.
interracial dating?
I do better on my own, walking down the street or in a grocery store or at
But
church.
how can you tell
Trust and
women to
believe.
not to put their eggs in one basket and there's a basket full of people
I'm not
around?
gonna tell. I think it's for who it's for. But see, you know, I'm a woman of a certain age. I've already married before. I've already had children. So
Same with my mother. That's where my mother's
desire,
going. One
my
line
desire
dating.
for all of that is not the same as somebody that's 25 or 35 or even 45.
It
It's
ain't
not
for-
the same.
Online dating's not for them. It's really for the older crowd. I feel them kids, them 25-year-olds in the club.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
You
they
ain't
out there in the
I'm
club.
telling you, yeah, Ron, the 25-year-olds are in the club and online. Plenty of Fish ain't got no lack of people. Plenty of Fish, Black People Meet, all of those different services.
But I'm saying when you meet an eligible man, you know what I mean, in your age bracket, it's usually a quick process to get to a date and something like that. If I meet a woman that's 20, I'm in the 30s, something like that, it's a very hard process to get to the date because she's busy.
Why? I mean, I would think the woman in her 30s is more apt. Is that you dragging the process out?
Yeah, I ain't got time. I ain't got time to waste. I ain't got
There's a
time
lot
to
going
wait.
on. You know what
Let's
I
go
mean?
on
She's
this
working.
date.
I'm working. She got 20
Okay,
dudes in
try
the
to
DM.
coordinate the schedule. Is that what you're
Well,
saying?
not even that. She got. If I clicked on her, 200 men have clicked on her. You know what I mean?
Well,
It's
right.
a little less-
Advice. Yeah.
It's a little different than a 50-year-old man. You know, you don't got 20 people clicking on him.
You'd be surprised if he got it going on. He might have 40. So let's not push that narrative, because that's not true, Ron.
That's the true narrative, but the narrative is don't.
So Ryan, how many people clicking on you?
All women.
Yeah, Ron, how's that going on for you? Are you on eHarmony? So I can tell my girlfriend.
I had one bad experience this weekend. I'm gonna let it go. But the thing is, for my sister, I tell them all, you hit on that click.
Ron, tell us the truth. When you showed up, it was Caitlyn Jenner, wasn't it?
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't have stayed to pay for that meal if it was a different gender.
Alex, you wrong for that. You wrong for that. You are so dang gone wrong. Guys, tell us individually. Let's start with Alex and move our way down to Jay. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Let's start with Jay and then move our way to Ron and then Alex last. Jay, tell us what you got going on. Tell us about your channel and tell us how to find you on Instagram, please.
Yes, if you want to stalk me, you can find me at _round_JS on Instagram or another round JS on YouTube. And if you really, really, really want to stalk my life, you know, you can find me at the Sexy Tomboy on Instagram.
All right, Ron.
My Instagram, I am Ron Freeman. It's Instagram. That's Facebook. I try to keep you guys updated with, I hang out with a lot of cast members and stuff down here. So if you fans of the show, add it on, check it out. I'm traveling. I'm in Detroit next week. I'm in Columbia 9 days after that. But then hopefully after that I can get back on the show and catch up with you guys.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna tell you, I'm Magnetic Repellent on YouTube. Catch me there. Go to my channel, subscribe to that. I got a lot more content there now. I'm pretty sure you'll find something you like. I'm this close to getting a movie funded, but I'm not going to say much more than that. So,
a new movie funded.
A new movie funded.
This man has already made more than one movie before, so yes.
Yeah. So that's a process. But also I just been taking care of business, taking care of my grandkids and all that kind of stuff.
Ain't nobody trying to hear about your personal life. Stick to the YouTube, Instagram.
He was on the online dating app.
I'm trying to say something that Jay will find interesting. So
he on the online dating app right now.
Yeah, exactly. Jay might hit me up later.
Her Instagram page, huh? Oh,
yeah,
Lord.
Jay might hit me up later.
Maybe she will.
You don't want me stalking you. That's what you don't want.
Oh my goodness. What about you, Aubrey?
Oh, hey, I'm right here. I'm right here on Actually Aubrey.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yes,
right
ma'am.
here. Yes,
Right.
yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Well, guys, we want to thank you for joining us. Please go ahead and like the video on your way out. Come
Yes.
back, leave a comment. Tell us what you were thinking. Did we miss something? Did we add something? Do you disagree with us? Do you agree? Drop down in the comments and leave us a comment. And we love you, but we're out.